Oh, fake news CNN? Oh, yeah, here we go. Wait till you hear this question. You should really say how great our soldiers and our warriors are.
I think everyone appreciates our soldiers and our warriors. I do have two questions for you.
Trump walked into NATO this morning. He did not ask, he did not beg, he demanded. He demanded 5% of these countries' GDP for defense. He said, pony up or pack up. I'd say that's a pretty bullish move. And just like that, the room got real quiet. Spain, they started whining like a broke college kid at a steakhouse. Mr. Producer, if you would pull up this clip. I want to let the people watch it and see what happened, because you probably weren't paying attention to what went on in NATO this morning. Play the clip.
Thank you, Mr. President. A question on Spain. Are you satisfied with today?
Oh, I think Spain's terrible what they've done. No, I do. They're the only country that won't pay the full up. They want to stay at 2%. I think it's terrible. And, you know, they're doing very well. The economy is very well. And that economy could be blown right out of the water with something bad happening. You know, Spain is the only country that... Are you from Spain?
Yeah.
Good, congratulations. You're the only country that is not paying. I don't know what the problem is. I think it's too bad. So we'll make it up. You know what we're going to do? We're negotiating with Spain on a trade deal. We're going to make them pay twice as much. And I'm actually serious about that. We're going to make Spain... I like Spain. I have so many people from Spain that it's a great place and they're great people. But Spain is the only country out of all of the countries that refuses to pay. And, you know, so they want a little bit of a free ride. But they'll have to pay it back to us on trade, because I'm not going to let that happen. It's unfair. It's unfair to NATO. All right, sir, please.
Trump is running the Bulls in Barcelona there, baby. Let's get something straight, folks. Even when he says they're going to pay twice as much, they're still at 4%. He's telling the rest of the world to come up with 5% of their GDP. For decades, America has been footing the bill for NATO, while half of Europe has been freeloading behind our military might. 2% was the old standard, folks. Even that's been like pulling teeth. I mean, where's the globalists? Where are they at? Why aren't they standing up and pulling something out of their pocketbook? Trump just tossed the rule book out the window and said, no more 2%. It's time for 5%. If you believe in that, if you agree with that, I want you to put a big yes and an American flag in the chat. Listen, if you want protection under the American umbrella, then you've got to pay your bills like your freedom depends on it. Because as we've seen in the geopolitical world right now, the things that have unfolded, your freedom does depend on us. Donald Trump is leadership, folks. I don't care what you say. I guarantee you Joe Biden could not have immediately answered a reporter or a question or a pushback from Spain. He couldn't have done it. He wasn't capable of doing it. Donald Trump, right off the top of his head, says, listen, the economy in Spain is good. Why aren't you pulling your weight? This is a message to the rest of these countries as well. This European Union, these folks that are out there that are just living off of America's tit, that's got to stop. What you're seeing right now in NATO, what you saw last week with the couple of days ago with the ceasefire between Iran and Israel, that's leadership. It's courage. That's the backbone of a president who puts the country first, not Brussels, not Berlin. You got Spain that's going to drag its heels like a toddler at nap time, and Trump pointed straight at them and said, you got money for social programs and green fantasy projects, but not for defense. Then don't expect us to carry the load when the wolves come knocking. It's savage, it's direct, it's absolutely unmistakable, and I like it. I like it. Now, the real question is, what does this mean for the world order? Because let's not kid ourselves, Trump's not just rattling cages, he's redrawing the entire blueprint for how the global alliances work. I loved it when he got off that plane and he put that USA hat right on top of his head. The boss is in town. This isn't Joe Biden, this isn't Barack Obama on an apology tour. What Trump is saying is you don't get to hide behind our nuclear arsenal while sending fan mail to the UN. He's saying this isn't a charity, it's a partnership, and you're going to pull your damn weight. The partnership requires a buy-in. You don't just get a free membership at the country. You don't get a free membership at the country club. You don't get a table at the seat. And in doing so, what he's doing is he's forcing every NATO nation to ask themselves, are they ready to step up, or are they just going to ride our coattails? Because so far, that's what's happened. And this is what real negotiation looks like. It's, again, this is more peace through strength. This is not a rainbow-colored joint declaration that promised peace and deliver paperwork. Trump threw an absolute grenade into the old guard, and the smoke is still rising, folks. I want you to watch these allies. Watch them wobble, because I want to tell you who's watching this whole thing. But before we do, I want you to play this clip and just watch, as this tweet says here, watch 47 just run the show. Play the clip.
I mean, we may do papers on it, Marco. Maybe we're going to do papers. I don't even know if you need them. They're not going to be fighting each other. They've had it. They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easy to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while, you have to use a certain word.
I think we have to jump.
Of course, that's an allusion to Trump dropping one of the most epic F-bombs. You got to give him a free pass on that deal right there. But let me tell you who's watching this when he says these words. These are the folks that are out there in the shadows. Iran, China, Russia, Hamas. You think they're nervous about NATO's gender inclusion task force? No, hell no. They're watching Trump shake the tree, and they know if he's back in charge, the gloves are going to come off. This is not a botched Afghanistan withdrawal where you leave $80 billion in equipment behind and men and women in our service get killed. This is not a show of weakness that causes Vladimir Putin to rush into Ukraine as soon as Biden botched the evacuation out of Afghanistan. And don't think this doesn't cause some tension elsewhere, because you got Ukraine. Ukraine's starting to feel the heat today as well. I mean, Volodymyr Zelensky showed up in a freaking suit. Now, if you remember when he was at the Oval Office and got his comeuppance a couple of months ago from Vice President J.D. Vance, and was doubled down on by Donald Trump, and they ended the meeting abruptly. When my friend Brian Glenn in the press pool asked Volodymyr Zelensky, he said, why don't you wear a suit? Why do you come in here basically wearing a sweatshirt? And he says, when there is peace, then I will wear the costume. Well, he got his ass out of the limo wearing a suit today because he knows the boss is in town, and that's who he wants to meet with. He's in there looking dapper, I got to admit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wearing a little sport coat there, Vladdy. I can't believe that Baby Gap makes suits that small, but there he is in his little size 00. Wow, look at that. Look at that picture right there. Just look at that picture. Look at these weak-ass people. I mean, there's Macron. These guys are Beto, soy, cuck, limp-wristed. Trump said the message, though. He said, you got to pay more. If you're okay with that, I want you to blow up that chat with that American flag, man. You got to pay more. Again, don't confuse generosity with weakness. And God knows America has been generous. And again, I don't think Trump, and I don't think any of us, we're not anti-Ukraine in that we're not against the Ukrainian people, but we are against anti-exploitation. What Trump is saying in this NATO speech is, if we're going to go back, if we're going to go and back you up with American blood and treasure and funds, you better come correct. No more corruption, no more playing victim while funneling cash to your cousins and your cocaine habit. It's not cruelty. That's tough love for the global order. And see, we've gotten into this toxic empathy for too long where we think we got to play nice with everybody. We don't have to play nice with anybody. We could shut everything down. I mean, you saw how fast he shut the borders. We could shut down that outward flow of cash that goes to all these countries, because God knows they're not sending us anything. And let's circle back to Spain for a minute. They're going to try to play the holdout hero of European freeloaders. They balked at the 5% demand like Trump asked them to sell their firstborn. And Spain's government said it's going to destabilize the alliance. You know what destabilizes alliance, folks? Let me tell you, it's leeches, parasites, and cowards. People who expect others to bleed while they sip the wine of the coast of Valencia. Trump ain't going to destabilize NATO, bunch of bastards. He's going to expose the rot. He's going to put a mirror in front of every leader in that room and say, you want the world to take you seriously? Then you better contribute and act like it. Act like you deserve respect, because strength commands respect. You know why this moment matters? You didn't wake up today thinking about NATO. You didn't wake up thinking about Trump's speech at The Hague. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you why it matters. Because for the first time in years, America walked into the room not as an ATM, but as a lion, as a warrior, as a savior. And again, don't mix my words up. I'm not saying Trump is a Christ. I'm not saying he's a Messiah. I'm not saying he's God. I'm not saying he should be worshiped. But my goodness, it's refreshing to have leadership in there that's bold and is willing to not bend the back and bow down to these bunch of pinheads globally who don't even know what the difference is between a man and a freaking woman. Trump doesn't play polite. I love watching Trump on the global scale. I love watching him on the global scene. When he walks out and somebody steps in front of him and he just slaps the shit out of him and moves him out of the way, he doesn't bow, he doesn't scrape, he doesn't hide behind press statements. He says what needs to be said, and if that offends you, good, because maybe it will wake you up. Watch. Here's some more Trump. Play the clip.
For it because we have scum that's in this group.
Scum.
You have some great reporters, but you have scum. CNN is scum. MSDNC is scum. The New York Times is scum. They're bad people. They're sick. And what they've done is they're trying to make this unbelievable victory into something less. Now, even they admit that it was hit very hard, okay? But it wasn't hit hard.
Talking about
hit
Iran.
brutally, and it knocked it out. The original word that I use, I guess it got us in trouble because it's a strong word. It was obliteration. And you'll see that. And it's going to come out. Israel is doing a report on it now, I understand. And I was told that they said it was total obliteration. You know, they have guys that go in there after the hit, and they say it was total obliteration.
Total obliteration. Now, the left calls that reckless, that kind of rhetoric. They call that reckless. The globalists call that provocative. I call it leadership, folks. I think you do too. Because what we have here is Trump absolutely reminding the world that peace doesn't come from being liked. It comes from being feared, respected, and too damn strong to mess with, quite honestly. See, the CNN and MSNBC and those talking heads and the legacy and the mainstream media, they love ceasefires because historically ceasefires means that it gives time. Oh, and by the way, the war pigs, the warmongers out there, the Lindsey Grahams of the world, they love ceasefires because historically the ceasefire gives the opposition opportunity to re-equip, reload, and refill their bank accounts. Because what happens is after you bomb the shit out of somebody, the globe starts sending them cash and start sending them weapons to make up for what they just lost. They start rebuilding that country's infrastructure after you bombed them. So China's going to send them resources. Russia's going to send them resources. And historically, they love the ceasefires because the ceasefires give a pause in the conflict long enough for Tehran to rebuild and rearm themselves and come back. And that's what they're used to. This is why CNN loves to run with these stories about how, well, we didn't obliterate them. Really, nothing happened. Probably nothing was destroyed. If there was anything there in the first place, they probably moved it. But this is not that same game show. This is America feeling like America again. Whatever that may mean to you, I know what it means to me. I know what it means to me. Did you see the clip where the NATO chief calls Trump daddy? Do we have that clip, Mr. Producer? When I was at the White House, I don't know if you guys realize this, but a couple of months ago I was at the White House. Donald Trump came in to the Roosevelt room as we were sitting there with J.D. Vance. And he talked to us for a few minutes. He said, when you guys are done in here, I want you to come into the Oval Office. And he said to us, he said, I got to get on the phone with the head of NATO. He goes, I don't know what they want. It'll take 2 minutes, but I'll be done with them in a minute. I was like, the way he looks at NATO is refreshing to me. The way he handles that. Do we have that clip, the Trump daddy deal? Was that that same clip? Okay, good. Yeah. All right. So what you have to do is you have to ask yourself, what happens now? Will NATO crumble under the weight of Trump's expectations? Will Europe rise to the challenge or retreat into the pacifist echo chambers? Only time's going to tell, but I know he's holding the media accountable. He continues to roast them. I mean, let's play this clip right here. Let's take a look at this before we switch gears over to New York City. Play this clip.
Oh, fake news CNN? Oh, yeah, here we go. Wait till you hear this question.
Thank you,
You should really say how great our soldiers and our warriors are.
I think everyone appreciates our soldiers and our warriors. I do have two questions for you, Mr. President.
Caitlin Collins, I mean, absolutely roasting her. Play this next clip.
Questions, please. Wow. That's a lot of questions. Who's a nice person? Oh, you're not a nice person, but I'll let you ask one. Go ahead. What's he going to ask? He is not nice at all. I know him well.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time before flying home. You just said you believe the conflict between Israel and Iran is over. What makes you so confident it is? And what do you do if it isn't?
Because I dealt with both, and they're both tired, exhausted. They fought very, very hard and very viciously, very violently, and they were both satisfied to go home and get out. Questions, please?
There you go. There you go. I mean, nobody knows better than him, right? And again, time will tell. But Trump, the bottom line, the takeaway from all of this, Trump didn't come to play games. He's not playing games with NATO. He's not playing games with the mainstream media. He's definitely not playing games with CNN. They're scum. I tell you, they're scum. They're weaker than a jellyfish, spineless like a jellyfish in a blender. The man has come to change the rules, folks. The Biden agenda is gone. It's got to be gone. NATO's got to catch up. The media better catch up, because I'm telling you, they're going to get left behind. The mainstream media has already lost face. The DNC, the Democratic Party's already in debt. They've lost any approval whatsoever. These people just keep doubling down on being freaking wrong. So this morning, hey, listen, I loved it because it wasn't just a speech. It was a reset button for America's role in the world. It was a declaration that the age of appeasement is over, and the era of unapologetic patriotism is just beginning, baby. That's what it means to make America great again. So to Spain, Iran, the EU, every other player on the world stage, you've just been warned. Trump's back, baby. He's hungry.